What's going on, YouTube? First, give honor to God who's the head of my life. And today we're going to dive right into the SPY charts and looking at the market and getting ready for tomorrow, Wednesday, which is going to be the day our Fed delivers rate cuts, if they are going to cut anything. And we're just going to talk about oil spiking up and why the market's down, but why that presents the ultimate opportunity for us investors and people that want to get into investing that have not yet. So let's get right into this video. All right, so we're gonna dive right into the charts. So you see we got SPY and we're on the daily chart and we're looking, and it's 6:29 where I am because I'm on the West Coast, meaning that the market is about to open at 6:30 in approximately 20 seconds, okay? And we see we've already been making a higher high to even start the day, and the day hasn't yet started as we're trading in a pre-market at 672.36. So it's going to be interesting to see how today goes, how the sentiment of investors are feeling with rate cuts coming tomorrow, as we are expected to not see any cuts tomorrow. Okay, and you see we opened up outside of this trend, filling this gap zone. Okay, so let's see what happens as this box comes down to this daily gap zone from the 12th of March. Do we make some more higher highs, or are we going to lose this range? We'll keep that in the background and we'll still look at the macro picture. Okay, tomorrow where Federal Powell will come up and let us know the decision on interest rates by the Feds. Okay, and this is only his second to last one before we potentially see a new chairman. Trump nominated as Kevin Warsh, but we'll see how that goes with the war and everything going on. It could be too political. So we could potentially see Jerome Powell sit there a few more terms. Who knows? We'll see how that all ends up playing out, right? Nonetheless, we were expecting nothing to change. Remember, we had talked about, Fed cuts when the minutes had came out for the previous cut, and we were saying we might not see any more rate cuts until later in this year. That's what we were all thinking and what we were talking about, and what was in the minutes report when we had dived into that video. If you haven't seen that video, it is on this channel. Make sure you check that out. But now with the war and with oil spiking and with uncertainty and inflation going higher, ultimately there's no telling exactly what will happen. Okay, so with all of that being said, the market is kind of expecting it to stay the same, but also a little uncertain because of the war. So the war is creating uncertainty as far as these cuts tomorrow. So we're gonna probably see today buyers stepping in to get position, and then by the end of today, with rate cuts happening tomorrow or early tomorrow before the rate cuts, we'll see a little bit of a sell-off. We'll be waiting to see the tone of Fed Powell, and we'll be waiting to hear the words of Fed Powell and see the notes from Fed Powell, okay, and what they are all thinking. So it's going to be important that we are watching the markets tomorrow, that we're watching the markets today, okay? And now with oil spiking up in price, it's making the money flow through different aspects. Remember yesterday, our video, we talked about crypto and how Bitcoin's been pumping for about 9 days straight now. Okay, so the money's been moving there. We were in extreme fear in crypto. We were then in fear, and now we're back in neutral. So we could potentially see more money flow through the crypto realms, which will be good. Okay, and now we're kind of seeing money flowing through the S&P. As we see, we had came all the way down to our previous week support down here, and we had tapped this box going to a low of 661. And now we've been in this little uptrend, okay, just from that box. And the cool thing about it is remember, we called this play out when we were saying that we were in this flag zone, okay? Now we came right to the bottom of this flag and tapped underneath it, and now we're back breaking out the flag. So this is a perfect continuation setup that we are in right now. And if you took heed to that, congrats. If not, it's all good because we're going to see multiple more opportunities. So let's talk about what is next to come. All right, so as we're looking at these charts, we see, even regardless of the flag, okay, let's just look at this. So we're underneath this EMA right here still. We're still under the 100 EMA. So potentially we could see buyers try to take price up to this EMA and tap it to see what price is looking like up there, and we could get rejected or we could go even higher. We'll still see. We're not going to guess, but we're only going to watch the charts and watch volume and see how price picks up today. Okay, but like I said, we always want to buy the low. So this is why it's important for people that are investors and people that may not know anything about investing to get in on the low end. Okay, you want to get in when it's cheap. You don't want to get in when you see all-time highs and you see extreme greed and everyone's excited and the news outlet is pushing all these positive things. Then you're basically buying up here, okay? And if you're buying up here where we've been getting smacked back down every time, this is where people ask me all the time, is investing like gambling? Is it like gambling? It's not gambling if you know how to invest, okay? If you understand market psychology. It's gambling though if you don't understand market psychology and now you're buying at all-time highs. You're gambling that we're going to make more all-time highs, okay? You want to buy low because when you buy low, even if we break lower, you buy low again. But when we come back to retest all-time highs, you're getting all of this range in between. There's no gambling in that. That's how you invest. That's the system. This is a system that's been in place for years, for centuries, okay? For decades, on top of decades, on top of decades. You buy low, you buy the dips, and you sell high, okay? We are just retailers that don't understand the system, and we're behind because of that. So that's why we sit here and we look at these charts, because we don't want to overcomplicate the charts, okay? So I might have all this stuff mapped out because this is how I read the charts, right? But at the end of the day, even if we're just looking at the charts from a macro level, you should already be able to tell where were the best spots to buy, okay? So we look here. This was a great spot to buy, okay? You look here. This is a great spot to buy, okay? Even here, these spots were great to buy, okay? These are where you want to be buying at. So even as we look at these charts, it's super simple. Look even up back here in these areas. You want to buy here, buy here, buy here, buy here, buy these dips, okay? Because every time it dips down, we come back up. We dip back down, we buy there, we running these up, okay? And then we came back up, we dipped down, you want to buy there, go back up. So it's important to buy the dips. We're not just saying buy the dips to be cool or to fit some sort of trend. No, this is what the game is. You buy these dips, okay? You buy this dip. Look at this. The last time we had tapped that 100 EMA, boom, if you bought that dip, we dipped down to 650. We ran right back up to 680, okay? Buy that dip, right back up. Buy that dip, right back up. So when we look in here, this was just a good dip, okay? So this is where we should have been stepping in to buy assets. And when we look at the S&P 500, yeah, S&P 500 SPY is trading at 673. You might be like, Trey, wait, I don't have that much money. So the S&P 500 is representing the top 500 stocks. So even your favorite stock that you're eyeing is what's bringing this stock we look at down. Okay, so a stock you may be eyeing is what's bringing this stock that we're looking at, this ETF, down. So meaning if this ETF is down, 9 times out of 10, a stock that you may be interested in or that you may be able to afford that is actually a good company is also down. So that means when we see this dip, we should be loading up like, okay, let me go shopping. Let me go see what's on sale. Let me see what fits my budget and what fits my description, okay? Because we want to buy low. We don't want to wait until we see what the Fed says and then we see the war in and now it's like, okay, markets is going back up to all-time highs. This is my time to get in. No, when there's uncertainty and when there's news fear-mongering and when no one knows what's going on, so they're selling and prices coming down, you want to buy there because now you're buying at a safe level where you could only have upside. Just diving into that real quick, we looked at the charts real fast and we really just want to get ready for tomorrow, okay? So I'm in some swing that I plan on probably exiting out of today because I'm just going to lock in profit and see what the sentiment is tomorrow. I don't want to gamble the cuts. I don't want to gamble what Powell's going to get up there and say. I don't want to gamble the indecision, but I bought this dip. I'm going to hold shares of what I have, of course, but my swings is what I'm going to get out of. Wait for tomorrow. If tomorrow the market pulls back down, re-enter. If the market runs back up, then it runs up without me and I'll wait to get another entry point, okay? So it's important that we get a game plan. It's important that we figure out what we want to do, that we have an entry level, that we have an exit level, okay? So just keep all those things in mind in your investing journey. And with all that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Share this with someone who may not know who God is so that you can introduce them to the Lord, our Savior, Jesus Christ, and open up the gates of heaven for them. Make sure you send this to someone who does not know what investing is so that you can introduce them to investing where they could ultimately meet financial freedom, because this is the quickest wealth vehicle to financial freedom, okay? So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We got a lot of cool things coming out soon. I'm excited to really show everyone what the future of finance will look like. And I'm working on something that's going to come out, of course, for free to serve everyone in the world with this knowledge, okay? So make sure you subscribe. Stay on the lookout for videos. Lord willing, we'll be back with another video. Have a blessed week.
Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus, just to take him back.